our speakers for a couple of questions. And I want to start with Marc and Joe, if you could address this. Which departments should be involved in the lease management process?
So it really, you have two parts of lease management. You have the real estate component, which typically will be handled by a dedicated department inside of a company, a real estate department, depending on the size of the portfolio. Sometimes this all resides in the Office of Finance. And now with the new lease accounting rules that went into effect, the Office of Finance and Accounting is very heavily involved in monitoring the leasing activity because it all impacts the balance sheet. When it comes to equipment and equipment leasing, that could be pretty distributed throughout a company, depending on the nature of the company. Certainly there's a procurement element to it, and the procurement department will have an impact, have a say. But after it's done, it's fairly widely distributed.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to a question for Heather. And again, after Heather is complete, feel free, speakers, to give your thoughts as well. Basically, our attending wanting you to explain a little bit more about BFR and the various types of investments in that space.
So build for rent is basically a catch-all for anything that is not kind of a garden multifamily. So I think of it on a continuum. There are ways to invest in horizontal multi, which is a single plat that might have 150 cottages or duplexes, homes on it. It's run much like a multifamily project, but you don't share, you don't have anybody above or below you. Then you can have townhomes, which again can be separate or all together, so you share sidewalls maybe. Most of these have yards. And then you have individually platted, purpose-built communities that, to the naked eye, you might not know that it's a rental community. It might look just like any other master plan community, where you have homes and sidewalks. So investments, you can invest anywhere in the spectrum there as well. So you can invest in the land and do the horizontal improvements, where then somebody buys that improved land from you to build vertical homes. You can invest in the whole, component of it, where you can be a GP, you could be a preferred equity investor, or you could be a limited partner, and provide the bulk of the equity. Or you could also be a debt. I mean, there's some opportunities there right now, especially on the construction debt side. There's some opportunities for private lenders to step in to help kind of bridge that gap where there's not as much bank financing available.